Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The topic going on is sannyasa, karma sannyasa and karma yoga. And this was the question of Arjun. Sometimes you talk about karma sannyas and then you glorify. But when it comes to me, you tell me that I should do karma yoga. So tell me which is better between the two, so that I can follow that. So Bhagavan suggests him that you should follow karma yoga because karma yoga vishishyate. Now why karma yoga vishishyate? Because if you have taken karma sannyas as a tradition, see, when the fruits are ripened on the tree naturally, or when the fruits are taken away for fast turnout and then made them to mature under artificial heating condition, there will be a difference. So here, jnana rahita sannyasa and jnana sahita sannyasa. As regards you are concerned, there is no doubt that you have no knowledge about the self, or else you would not have cried. And therefore, karma yoga vishishyate. Now, after having said this, one shouldn't feel bad that, I am being told only karma yoga and, knowledge, sannyas is higher. So the teacher said, look here, karma yogi himself is a sannyasi if yaha na dveshti na kangshati. So don't go after the names and labels. Neyasa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kangshati. So that karma yogi who is na dveshti na kangshati, he is a sannyasi eva. And after having told this, then one more topic is said. Actually, these karma sannyas and karma yoga, they are not different. But instead of using the karma sannyas and karma yoga, these two words, Bhagavan has used different words. Sankhya yoga pruthak balaha pravadantina panditaha. So by the Sankhya, what is meant is karma sannyas, and by yoga, what is meant is karma yoga. So now why these two different words are brought? This was the question last time we were dealing with. So, nanu karma sannyasa yoga shabdena prastutya Sankhya yoga yoho phalaikatvam katham iha aprakrutam braviti. When we started with the sannyas and karma yoga, these words, suddenly here from Sankhya and yoga, these two words have come. So the teacher says, na esha doshaha yadyapi arjunena sannyasam karma yogam cha kevalam abhipretya prashnakrutaha Bhagavan tu tat aparityagena. Bhagavan has not rejected in his reply the question asked by Arjun. Tad aparityagena eva swa abhipretam cha vishesham sanyojya. But in addition to that, Bhagavan has added something from his own side, and therefore he has used different words. So, shabdantara vachyataya prativachanam dadau sankhya yoga. Now, what is that which Bhagavan has added to karma sannyasa and karma yoga? Because of which karma sannyasa is called as sankhya and karma yoga is called as yoga. What are that thing which Bhagavan has added from his own side? So, tau eva sannyasa karma yoga jnana tad upaya samabuddhitva adi sanyuktau sankhya yoga shabda vachyau iti. See, sannyasa and karma yoga, two words. When these two words are supported by two additional things, which are those two additional things? Sannyasa plus jnanam. That means jnana sahita sannyasa. is called as Sankhya, and Karma Yoga is Tad Upaya Samabuddhitva. So when the equanimity or the oneness or the sameness is accepted at the level of karma phala, etc., then the same karma yoga is called as yoga. So what is the definition now? Arjuna's words were sannyasa and yoga. Bhagwan Krishna's words are Sankhya and yoga. So what is Sankhya therefore? Sannyasa plus knowledge is Sankhya. That means jnana yukta sannyasa. The sannyasa is not a mechanical thing. I have finished all my duties, now I have decided to take sannyas, therefore I have taken sannyas. So the sannyas from the duties is different. And sannyas, because akarmani karmayaha pashet karmani cha karmayaha. So he who has seen this, he who has recognized his own self, his renunciation of karma is of different quality. And the one who has renounced as a tradition after fulfillment of duties, that is different. Therefore, what is Sankhya? Sannyasa plus jnana. And what is the Karma Yoga? The Yoga according to Bhagavan Krishna. So, Karma Yoga plus Tat Upaya Samabuddhitva. Adi Sanyuktau. So, these two things are added to the two words. And by then, the words are converted. Sannyasa has become Sankhya and Karma Yoga has become Yoga. Therefore, Sankhya Yoga Shabda Vachau iti. Bhagavataha matam ataha na aprakrita prakriya iti. Therefore, what Bhagavan has said is not out of the place. He has just added something and made Arjuna clear about his doubt. So now up to this thing, three things must be clear in your mind. First, for the ignorant, now when we say ignorant, that doesn't mean a fool. Ignorant means he who considers himself to be limited, he who thinks he is a doer, he who thinks that he is the enjoyer, kartrutva, bhoktrutva, abhimani, he is an ignorant. This is one case. Second case is, this ignorant person has fulfilled his duty towards everything in his life, and then he has taken sannyas. But he has no knowledge about the truth. Such people are called as Vividisha Sannyasi. Vividisha Sannyasa means that sannyas where there is a desire to know. That means they are not yet known. So they are Jnana Rahita Sannyasi. And then the third stage comes Vidvat Sannyasa, where the knowledge has taken place. So these three cases are dealt with here. Now Bhagavan says to Arjuna that when you are telling, glorifying the karma sannyas, renunciation of karma, and telling me that I should do the karma, therefore what is to be understood? First thing, you are not the one who has given up karma out of understanding. First. Second thing, you still have the sense of doership. How can I kill others? So you have got that sense of doership. Therefore you are ignorant. If you are ignorant, then you should do karma. Now between the karma and karma sannyasa, which is better? See the whole thought process you understand. So between the karma and karma sannyasa, which is better? If you are a karma sannyasi by tradition to complete the duties, then you are ignorant karma sannyasi. For the ignorant karma sannyasi, karma yoga is required. And if you know the truth, and therefore karma is dropped away from you, then for him karma sannyasa automatically happens. Such a person will not ask a question. Very simple thing. So up to this point, these are the points which are brought out. Now, ekasya api samyak anushthanat katham ubhayoho phalam vindate iti uchyate. In the last verse, Bhagavan has taken this topic. Ekam api astitaha samyak ubhayoho vindate phalam. Even if one is established only in one, either either yoga or the Sankhya, he attains the result for both because the result is one and the same. So here, this question is asked: Ubhayoho phalam katham ekam se anushthanat vindate iti uchyate. It is said now. Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha ya pashyati sa pashyati. Now again understand these two words clearly for correct understanding. Yes, sankhya jnana nishtha sannyasi bhi. See? So it is not the ignorant sannyasi. Jnana nishtha sannyasi. So tritiya vibhakti, therefore jnana nishtha sannyasi bhi. Prapyate sthanam. What is that which is attained by the jnana nishtha sannyasi? The one who has renounced the karma out of knowledge. Moksham or mokshakyam sthanam. So tad yogaihi apigamyate. And that is also attained by the yogis. Now the definition of yogi was given in the third verse. Neyasya nitya sannyasi yo nadveshti na kangshati. See? So that karma yogi who is beyond the influence of the raga dvesha likes and dislikes, nirdvandvaha, dvandvas do not influence in his life, he is already a sannyasi. And therefore Bhagavan says here, yas sankhaihi prapyate sthanam tad yogaihi apigamyate. Now how by the yoga this is attained? Jnana prapti upayatvena. That means the karma yoga is the means for developing qualification so that you get the knowledge. So first we are ignorant, then we get the knowledge, and then the knowledge becomes mature enough that we come to realize the truth, and therefore there is no karma possible through such a wise man. 3 stages. So, jnana prapti upayatvena ishvare samarpya karmani atmanaha phalam anabhisandhaya anudishtanti yete yoginaha taihi api paramartha jnana sannyasa prapti dvarena gamyate iti abhiprayaha. So, jnana prapti upayatvena, knowing well that the karma yoga is the means for attainment of qualification to know the truth. And what is the karma yoga then? Ishvare samarpya karmani. So yad karma karomi tattad akhilam shambho davaradhana. So all the karmas are offered to the Lord. Then atmanaha phalam anabhisandhaya. And there is no expectation of results as regard the doer is concerned. And ye anutishtanti te yoginaha. They are called as the karma yogi. So, what is the prayojan? Prayojan is Ishvaradhana. So, Ishvara samarpya karmani. Purpose is for the sake of the Lord. And what about the karma phala? Atmanaha phalam anabhisandhaya. No expectation from the karma phala at all. Then why are you doing time pass? There is nothing that is gained or achieved through any activity. See the joy of that life. The moment we have the load on our mind, if I do, then this will happen and then it will be very good. So you are all the time pulling yourself in the future. Present is lost. So atmanaha phalam anabhisandhaya. There is no expectation of any result that this will happen or that will happen. So ye anutishtanti, they are called as yogi, yoginaha. Now taihi api, by such yogi also, paramartha jnana sannyasa prapti dvarena. So what they have happened to them? Paramartha jnana sannyasa prapti dvara. So they reach to the qualification where they are able to attain the paramartha jnana And then after having got the Paramartha Jnana, then they get Paramartha Nishtha, firm abidance in that experience. And therefore, both of them, Sankhya as well as the Yogi, they attain the same destination. Ataha ekam sankyam cha yogam cha yaha pashyati phala ekatvat. Because the ultimate destination is the same. So it is something like, if you see where I had seen one road ends, suppose here. This road ends here, and from the same road continues. In our Bombay only, this Eastern Express Highway. First it is called by some other name. Then after it reaches Chembur, the road is the same. From that point onward, the road name is different. In the same manner, up to a particular point, Karma Yoga. When you have come to the state of Karma Yoga perfection, you have become qualified because of purification of the mind. There is Tattva Jidnyasa, therefore you have studied. Now you have got all the knowledge, and after that, all that knowledge, now you practice further what? Abidance in that knowledge. So this is not one is separate from other, it's all continuity. And therefore, whether somebody has started Karma Yoga or somebody has started Jnana Yoga, all of them are ultimately reaching the same destination. And therefore, ekam sankyam cha yogam cha yaha pashyati sapashyati. Therefore, Karma Yoga doesn't, the moment we say Karma Yoga, we have already deleted the Karma Phala. The moment we say Karma Yoga, we have already deleted the sense of doership. Because we are not doing for our sake, it is for the sake of the Lord. So in this manner, ekam sankyam cha yogam cha yaha pashyati phala ekatvad sa samyak pashyati. His understanding alone is correct. All other people's understanding is wrong. Now when this is said, evam tarri yogat sannyasah eva vishishyate. If this is true, then better than the yoga or the karma yoga, the karma sannyas is superior. Katham tari idam uktam tayostu karma sannyasat karma yoga vishishyate. See? Then why it was said that in comparison to the karma sannyas, karma yoga is better? From your this description, it appears that the karma sannyasa is better. But you told that Karma Yoga is better. How come this again discrepancy? Shrudu tatra karanam. Listen. Tvaya prushtam kevalam karma sannyasam karma yogam cha abhipretya. What you have asked was the question, karma sannyas and karma yoga. Abhipretya. Tayoho anyataraha kaha shreyan. Now between these two, what is superior? Tad anurupam prativachanam maya uktam. According to your question, I have replied. Karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate iti jnanam anapeksha. Now here what is said? Sankhya. And what was the question? Sannyasa. So what is the difference between Sankhya and Sannyasa? Sannyasa plus knowledge is Sankhya. And only giving up the karma is not ultimate in life. Therefore, don't catch my tongue. I have spoken perfectly all right. You have not understood properly. So, tadanurupam pradivachanam maya uktam karma sannyasat karma yoga vishishyate iti jnanam anapeksha. Jnanapeksha tu sannyasaha sankyam. Sannyas plus the jnanam is equal to sankhya. Iti maya abhipretaha. This is what I have been talking all the time about. Oh, I have never paid any attention to that. This is how it happens, many times we sit, we listen, and we feel that we are listening, but nothing is happening. And then it all goes above. See each and every point. So, jnanapekshaha tu sannyasaha sankhямiti maya uktam abhipretaha. So, paramartha yogaha cha sa eva. This itself is called as Paramartha Yoga. Therefore, yaha tu karma yogaha vaidikaha sa tadarthyad yogaha sannyasaha iti upacharyate. No, yaha vaidikaha karma yogaha. Sa tadarthyad, only in that understanding only it is called as yoga or the sannyas iti uchyate. Katham tadarthyam iti uchyate. Now, this karma yoga which is told according to the Vedic literature or Vedic principle, this is the means for attainment of the knowledge. So, karma yogaha tadarthyat saha yogaha sannyasiti uchyate. Because it is a means for attainment of the knowledge, it is called as the sannyasa. It is something like, a train has to go to Madras or Chennai. It is standing already on the station. And you go hurriedly there. Where is Chennai? So what do we ask? Not Chennai is in Tamil Nadu. But on the station we mean the train which will take us to Chennai. So the means are used to indicate the destination. So here also. So yogaha tadarthyar sannyasa iti upacharyate. Upacharyate, out of formality or tradition it is said. Therefore, katham tadarthyam iti uchyate. Now how that the yoga is called as sannyasa in this meaning? It is said in the 6th verse. Sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptuma yogataha yoga yukto munir brahma nachirenadhi gacchati. See, this word tadarthya also will mean tad artha. Tad means what? Paramatma. Vaidikaha karmayogaha saha tadarthyad yogaha sannyasa iti upacharyate. So Vedic karma yoga is called as sannyas because ultimately it takes you to the same reality. Now how this is tadarthyam? How this yoga or the sannyasa is called as Paramatma? So now see the 3 stages. The yoga is called as sannyasa according to the Vedic karma yoga, and this sannyasa itself is called as Paramatma. 3 stages. Now what it is? Sannyasaha tu paramarthikaha. So paramarthik sannyas dukkham aptum praptum ayogataha yogena vina. So here the meaning of sannyasa is therefore what? Sannyasa means Paramatma. So sannyasa tu paramarthikaha, sannyasa means the truth, the reality, the Paramatma. To paramarthika, dukkham aptum is impossible, terribly difficult to attain, ayogataha, yogena vina, unless you have gone through the karma yoga, then you have attained the jnana yoga, and then you have attained realization of the truth on the basis of karmani akarmayaha pashed and brahmarpanam brahmahavi ityadina. Unless that is done, then only you will be firmly abiding in the self. All this is difficult ayogataha. So here sannyasastu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogataha. So this Paramatma Tattva is very difficult to be attained unless one has gone through the whole process of first purification, then study, then firm abidance, and then living in that knowledge. 4 stages. So, Karma Yoga for whom? For ignorant. And we are all ignorant. Because I am the doer. So first Karma Yoga. Now how do we know that Karma Yoga is becoming fructifying? Now the mind remains undisturbed. There are no hang-ups or loads having done or not done something. And also now there is a tattva jidnyasa. We want to know the truth. So study of scriptures has become now natural way of life. So slowly, one is gathering the knowledge. Now after having gathered the knowledge, now there is no doubt left as regard knowledge is concerned. But there is lack of experience. So, to get the firm abidance in this knowledge, yogena vina. So what is to be done? Continue this abhyas. And when the purification attains the last limit, it is a question of just a click. When what will click, nothing can be told. You know, there is a story. These are all Zen stories. They tell in a very different manner. There was a lady. She was bringing water in a pot from the tap or a river. And it was evening time, night time, and in that pot, when she filled in, she saw the moon reflected. And she was so enchanted looking at the reflected moon, how beautiful it looks and all that. And then she lifted that pot and she was coming home. And on her way, when she kept the pot by mistake very heavily, the pot broke, the water flew, the moon disappeared. And she was realized. Now see, if there is the water of mind in the pot of body, there alone the truth reflects as Jivatma. The moment the mind disappears, no water, no moon. See? There is no Kartrutva Abhiman. There is only knowledge, but that knowledge is yet objective. It is only information. It has not clicked in us. Therefore, Sannyasastu Mahabaho. So here the meaning of the word sannyas is Paramatma. Hey Mahabaho, hey Arjun, Dukkham aptum ayogataha. It is not possible to be attained. That is why, in our Panchadashi, have we studied 9th chapter of Panchadashi? We have studied, I think, Dhyanadip. There we are told that we may have studied, understood everything, yet towards the end of your purification, what remains is the Manorajyam. You have no desires. You have no attachment, but this factory is not switched off. So you see, and go on. Realize what realize. Inside it is going on. So, Dirgham Pranavamucharya Manorajam Viliyate. Then now continue the yoga abhyas. This is what is meant. Ayogataha. So these are the different stages. So sannyasastu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogataha. So here the word sannyasi means Paramatma. So yoga yuktaha. Now who is the yoga yuktaha? Vaidikena karma yogena ishvara samarpita rupena phala nirapekshena yukta. Now he who has practiced yoga. Now what is the yoga of practice of yoga? One is Vaidikena karma yogena. What is the Vedic karma yoga? All my responsibilities now I give up. From today onward, I am nobody's husband, nobody's father, nobody's brother, nobody's in-law, nobody's outlaw. All responsibilities are given. Good. And whatever is done hereafter is Ishvara Savarpita Rupena. Everything is offered to the Lord. Then why are you doing it? Phala Nirapekshena. There is nothing that is expected out of any activity. Such a person, Munihi, Mananat Ishvara Swarupasya. Now where will be his thinking going on? His thinking will not be, what will I get if I do this? What will I not get if I don't do this? See? Naiva tasya krutena arthaha na kruteneha kaschana. He has nothing to gain in this world, nor he has anything to lose from this world. How important it is. So, now such a person whose mind is now no more running out of habitual thinking, manorajya, then such a Muni alone can mananat Ishvara Swarupasya Muni. Then he can contemplate on Paramatma. See? Now what is the reflection on Paramatma? When the reflection on the Anatma stops. See? Now we are constantly thinking about this. When we have stopped thinking about the objective things, the subjective experience begins. So, Ishvara Swarupasya Mananat Munihi Brahma. So, Yoga Yukto Munir Brahma Na Chirena Adhigachati. Now, what is the meaning of Brahma? See, Paramatma Jnana Lakshanatvat Prakrutaha Sanyasaha Brahma Uchyate. See. So, Brahma means what? Paramatma Jnana Lakshanatvat. Brahma is what? Ultimate knowledge. So, this ultimate knowledge is called as Prakrutaha Sanyasaha. This is what we are talking about sannyas in this topic. And therefore, Prakrutaha Sanyasaha Brahma Uchyate. So now, replace this word, first word sannyasa by the word Brahma. So, Brahmaha tu Mahabaho Dukkham Aptum Ayogataha. Attainment of the absolute reality is impossible unless you have gone through the process of purification, then Shravan Manan Nididhyasanam, then Yoga Abhyasa, and then firmly, finally abiding in the truth. Arre baap re. If without this we do Dukkhena Dukkham Aptum, then you will get not Brahman, Dukkham. Dukkham aptum ayogataha. That is why never give a single excuse from the study and contemplation. That is why the importance of discipline. What is the importance of discipline? Given an opportunity to us, we will never be disciplined. Take for example, if there is a kind of thinking that you study on your own, and when you feel that you have perfectly studied, then you come for examination and we will examine you. There will be not a single examination in the whole universe. So what is done? A date of examination is fixed. When the date of examination is fixed, then everything starts falling in the right place. Because we don't function without the imposed discipline. Okay? Now be very attentive. When the imposed discipline is accepted by us willingly, then he is called as disciple. See? And therefore, a disciple is never burdened by the discipline imposed by the teacher. This is what all is meant. Otherwise, our mind will give us such wonderful ideas. And we will be going away, imagining that we are doing right things, and there is nothing wrong that can be found out. But wrong is happening. Wrong is not outside. What is happening? Yoga yuktaha, we are not becoming. See how important it is. Nanu dhyayan bahun shabdan vacho viglapanam hitat. This I have discovered after many years when you go and talk to many gatherings throughout the world. There are some places where the Satsang has been going on a daily, regular basis for last many years, 30, 40, 50 years. You go there, those who are regular attending the Satsang. It has become like a drunkard addict is addicted to the drinking booth. They also go to the Satsang and the same thing. And then there are two varieties. One variety is comparison. This Mahatma compared with that Mahatma, this Mahatma is evaluated, that Mahatma is evaluated. Second one is, kuch nahi hota hai, anyway, I had to go somewhere, so I have come. Here Bhagwan is telling. For such people, what happens? Dukkham aptum. They attain only miseries. Therefore, Sannyasaha Parabrahma Paramatma is possible to be attained by this. Therefore, I tell you, the more deeper and subtler you reach, all your things start dropping automatically. Like when you are entering deep sleep, are you not giving up everything? First we stop the thoughts about the whole universe. Then we close our doors, windows and everything. And then the light is switched off. And then lights come from somewhere. So we switch off the eyes. And slowly withdraw. This process, when done consciously with understanding, is called as realization. See? Sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptuma yogataha and yoga yuktaha munihi. But he who has followed this, he is muni. Ishvara manana Ishvara sarupasya mananat munihi. So Brahma Paramatma Dhyana Lakshanatvad Prakruta Sannyasa Brahma Uchyate Nyasaha iti Brahma Brahmahi Paraha iti Shrutehe. See, the one of the etymological breakage of the word sannyasa is this. Samyak nyasaha, proper placement. So what is proper placement? Like, you must have read these kind of stones which are fixed. The Shilanyasa of this building was done by so and so. The Shilanyasa means that particular stone was placed in the right place for the building to be built. If it is never built, that's a different issue. In the same way, sannyasa means we have placed ourselves in the right position. Whether we are the kartrutva abhimani doer, whether we are body incomplete, whether we are the jivatma or we are ekameva dvitiya nehana nasti kinchana. This is called as Parabrahma Paramatma, in other words as sannyasa. So, Brahma Paramartha Sannyasam, Paramatma Jnana Nishtha Lakshanam, Na Chirena Kshipram Eva Adigachati. So, such a Yoga Yukto Muni, Brahma or the Sannyasa, this Parabrahma Paramatma, Kshipram, Chirena means Kshipram, Na Chirena Kshipram. Immediately, Adigachati Prapnoti, attains. Ataha Maya Uktam Karma Yogo Vishishyati. Therefore, I told Karma Yoga is superior. Now see, what is the Karma Yoga now? Why Karma Yoga is superior? Simply giving up the worldly possession, giving up interest in life is not Karma Yoga. It is not sannyasa. giving up the responsibilities is not karma sannyasa. Giving up the doership associated with the karma and discovery of the akarma karmani yaha pashet. He who is able to discover the Parabrahma Paramatma in and through the total dynamic activities of life, he is a real karma sannyas. If it is not, then karma yoga vishishyate. Never mind. Then go through a proper channel. See? And therefore I told maya uktam karma yoga vishishyate iti. Yada punaha ayam samyak darshana prapti upayatvena. Now, this yoga yukta purush, this person who is practicing this karma yoga as a means for attainment of right knowledge about the self, yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. Yogena yuktaha yoga yuktaha. So he who has been practicing this karma yoga, yoga yuktaha, vishuddhatma, because of this karma yoga, what has happened, his heart has become purified. Vishuddhatma, vishuddha sattvaha. The word sattva is most of the time used to indicate the antakaran chatushtay. So, Shuddha Sattvaha, it will come in a Kaivalya Upanishad also. So Antakaran is called as Sattva. So Vishuddha Sattvaha, Vishuddhatma. The pure hearted means there are no loads of Raga Dvesha, likes and dislikes. Vijitatma, Vijita Dehaha. Vijitatma, he means he who has conquered the gross body. So one by one. By the Karma Yoga, what has happened? First, the mind has become pure. Second, the body has come under our control. He who is doing karma yoga, he has to do it through the body. And when you are working through the body remains fit for the job. Therefore, Vijitatma, Vijita Deha. Then third, Jitendriyaha cha. And also he who has full control over all his faculties. Jitendriyaha. So, four things. Because of the karma yoga, one thing is purification of the mind. Second is control over the body. Third, who has kept his faculties under absolute control. And now when these three things are done, now fourth condition. What happens? Sarva bhutatma bhutatma. Sarvesham brahmadinam stamba parjantanam bhutanam atma bhutaha atma pratyak chetano yasya sa sarva bhutatma bhutatma samyak darshi ityartaha. So this is the complete scheme of spiritual practice. Yoga yukta practice of karma yoga. Result is vishuddhatma. And therefore Vijitatma, body is under your control. Jitendriyaha, therefore all your faculties are no more troubling you. Such a person who has studied, got the knowledge, now his experience is what? Sarva bhutatma bhutatma. He has come to experience that all beings are in me and I am in them. See? Sarvesham. Sarvesham means what? Brahmadi stamba parjantanam. Starting from the Brahmaji up to the insignificant amoeba. Stamba parjantanam bhutanam atma bhutaha. So all of them are in me. Atma pratyak chetanaha. Because I am this immediate conscious principle. Yasya, he who is, so is called as sarva bhutatma. In other words, samyak darshi. He who has discovered his correct identity is called as sarva bhutatma bhutatma. Now such a master, sa tatra evam vartamanaha. And thus he who is abiding in this knowledge, in this experience, loka sangrahaya karma kurvannapi na lipyate. So such a person will be busy and doing the karma of whatever kind. For what? Loka sangrahaya karma kurvan. Doing the karma activities for the betterment of the society. Kurvan api na lipyate. So whatever karma is doing, na lipyate means what? Na karma bihi badhyate ityarthaha. So he is no more bound by the karma. And what is the karma's bondage? What is the bondage created by karma? One is kartrutva bhiman. Second is the karma phala apeksha, expectation of the results of karma. And third thing is, because of that, a compulsion to take birth after birth. So all these three things are negated from the life of such a great master. So this is how samyak darshana prapti upayatvena. This is the means of attainment of realization. So what is said in whole Bhagavad Gita is this. Yoga yuktaha, vishuddhatma, vijitatma, jitendra. Four things. Unless this happens, we are far away from the truth. Now see, many times we are even unable to know that we are thinking unnecessarily. What am I doing? Chalo, let's read this. Watch your own mind. You know, for all the practical purposes, we are sitting like this in the class and all that. Gone. And then something happened. From here I can see every mind as clearly I can see every body. Therefore, many times when I give some examples, why those examples go at straight away hit is because, this is going on. So one example. I don't have to search for examples. All examples are sitting around. Sarva bhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. Now, nacha asau paramarthataha karoti. Because this master, paramarthataha, from the absolute standpoint, he is really doing nothing. See how? We may say that the boat was capsized by the sea. Now what is the sea? Sea is nothing but water. Now will we say that the water has pulled the boat inside and killed the people? No. So, from the point of view of the water, neither the ocean is the destroying force, nor the wave is the destroyed thing. From the water's point of view, these things have no existence. In the same manner, paramarthataha, from the absolute standpoint of view, nacha asau paramarthataha karoti, he does nothing. There is no doership at all. Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manneta tattvavita pashyan shrunvan sprushan jigran ashnan gachan swapan shvasan pralapan visrujan grunham unmishan nimishannapi indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. Now here is, this is called as a Brahmabhyasa, a practice for a seeker who is very well established in the knowledge, and he has now to convert this into immediate experience. So what is the practice for him now? Because Karma Yoga is over, study of the scriptures is over, we have studied all Upanishad, heard all the Mahatmas, everything is over. Now what? Now is then. Na eva kinchit karomi iti yuktaha samahitaha sammanyeta chintayet. Na aham kinchit eva karomi iti. I am doing nothing. Iti yuktaha. Yuktaha means samahitaha. Samahita means he who has now completely, fully, totally, exhaustively, without any compromise, withdrawn himself from the plurality, he is now abiding in himself. Samahitaha san manneta. Now he should start contemplation. What? Na eva kinchit karomi iti. So, Tattvavid Atmanaha Yathatmyam Tattvam Vetti iti Tattvavid Paramarthadarshi ityartha. Now who should do this thing? The one who has come to the last stage of his life on the spiritual path. So, this Tattvavid, now he has complete knowledge, nothing is lacking, all understanding is absolutely clear. Now the mind is also not running here and there. Now the last nail on the coffin of this ego is naiva kinchit karomi iti. Because till the last moment this thing remains. I have done sadhana, I have done yoga, I have done this thing, I have done that thing. And he has done also, there is no doubt about it. So that I has to be finally erased. Now what is that point, to what extent the ego has to be erased? This is said in the second half of the same verse. Katha kadam va tattvam avadharayan manneta iti uchyate. So, how and when and how long should this man or tattvavid samyak darshi, the knower of the truth, should practice this, and in which field? So, all the activities of our faculties are enumerated. So, Pashyan, seeing, Shrunvan, hearing, Sprushan, touching, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swashan, Pralapan, Visrujan, Grunnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api. That means all the activities of the sense organs, the organs of action, and those involuntary activities which do not fall in the purview of the karma indriya or the jnanendriya. See, smelling, tasting, touching is karma jnanendriyas, organs of perception. And talking, holding and giving up is in the purview of the karma indriyas. And blinking of the eyes, whether it is the action of the karmendriya or the jnanendriya. So Bhagavan has exhausted every kind of activity of life. So all of them, naiva kinchit karomi iti manneta. Now this is the practice. This is what our Nisargadatta Maharaj used to say. He used to say, there is seeing, but there is no seer. See? Or Santa Gyaneshwar, in one of his Avanga, he says, Zaniva nirniva bhagavanti nahi. There is nothing like knowing or not knowing in Paramatma. See? Meaning, anya devatad viditad atha aviditad adhi. See, all of them ultimately come to the same point. So, naiva kinchit karomi iti yukto manneta tattvavid. Now this is abhyas again and again, again and again. Now see what will happen as a result. If the eyes are open and there is no seer behind the eyes, so what will happen? It will be like the mirror. Whatever comes in front, it will be reflected, and it goes, it goes. No impressions are formed, because now the vision is only on the consciousness, the self. Shambhavi mudra. So in this manner, then how does he behave or conduct himself in this world? Indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta. So, यस्य एवं तत्वविदः सर्व कार्य करण चेष्टासु कर्मसु अकर्म एव पश्यतः. So what he has done now? Karmani akarmayah pashyet. See? Yasya tattvavidah. In this manner, this man of wisdom who knows the truth in its completeness, sarva karya karana cheshtasu, all the modifications of the body and the faculties, sarva karya karana cheshtasu, karmasu, all their modification activities, akarma eva pashyataha. So who is this pashyataha is the noun now. He who is the seer of this type, he is samyak darshin, therefore samyak darshinaha tasya sarva karma sannyase eva adhikaraha. He alone is the real karma sannyasi, because karmanaha abhava darshanat, because through him there is no karma happening. This thought comes in one of the Upanishads, where it is said, when Brahmaji is creating, he does not get the Nobel Prize for family production. And when Vishnu Bhagwan is maintaining the world, he doesn't get the maintenance allowance increase. And when Bhole Baba is killing fellows one after another, he is not a criminal. See? Because they are established in this. Sarva karma sannyase adhikaraha. Now, is it not very true? When our eyes are open, the things are seen. In this, where is the place for the eye? Colors and forms are there already. Eyes are also created by the same Lord. The vision is also the expression of the same Lord. Now, in this, where from eye has dropped in? No? And who is suffering? Not the colors and forms, not the eyes, not the vision. Who is suffering is this eye. And this eye has no stability, no value. And therefore, he who has karmasu akarma eva pashyataha, he who has discovered this unchanging, absolute truth, functioning in and through all the changes, but itself undergoing no change. See? Asino duram rajati, shayano yati sarvataha, kastam madam devam madanyaha ajnatum arhati. Again and again, keep on contemplating all these mantras. Each and every mantra, if you just even keep on chanting, any time it may just click. Mayi eva sakalam jatam, mayi sarvam pratishtitam, mayi sarvam layam yati, tad brahma dvayam asmyaham. The water says this mantra. Mayi eva sakalam jatam, in me are born all the oceans and the waves. Mayi sarvam pratishtitam, in me all of them are existing. Mayi sarvam layam yati, all of them ultimately merge in me. Tad brahma dvayam asmyam, that is called as water. See? In the same manner, when our attention is on this conscious principle, now is it not, when there is consciousness functioning, then there is life. When there is consciousness functioning, then there is health. When there is consciousness functioning, then there is disease. When there is consciousness functioning, then there is understanding, misunderstanding. Everything is possible only because of this conscious reality. Therefore, everything is nothing but this one absolute self. So, in this manner, karmasu akarmaha eva pashyataha, akarma eva pashyataha, samyak darshinaha tasya sarva karma sannyate adhikaraha. Now why he has got authority to give up all the action? Because karmanaha abhava. For him there is no karma. It is something like, when a flower is emitting fragrance, like, near our gate, evening time when you go for a walk, all those beautiful flowers give such wonderful fragrance. So you go and thank. Flower, thank you so much. Huh? So you start, pagal aaya hai. I am not giving anything. Why? Because that is his nature. In the same manner, naturally we are not the doers. Naturally we are not the enjoyers. Naturally we are not ignorant. In absolute, all these things are only superimposed. Therefore, tasya samyak darshinaha eva karmani sarva karma sannyasya adhikaraha. Now, why this happens? Now, his karma, sarva karma sannyas is born out of what? Out of experience. How? Nahi mruga trishtikayam udaka buddhya panaya pravruttaha udaka abhava jnane api tatra eva pana prayojanaya pravartate. When somebody has seen the mirage waters and he was very thirsty and running, and while running he comes to know, hey, it's only the mirage water, not the real water. The moment he comes to know this is mirage water, will he continue running? No. See? And therefore, na pravartate, he will no more get involved in running. In the same manner, he who has discovered that I is the source of all the bliss, I is the source of all life, I is the source of all knowledge. Now why run after anything else? So from him all the karma naturally are dropped away. So when this is said about the wise man, now for a comparison so that we understand properly, the picture of the other wise man is given. Yaha tu punaha atattvavid pravruttaha cha karma yoge. Now he who has not known the truth and he is now engaged in the karma yoga, about him. Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate na sa papena padma patramivambhasa. Now see the difference. Wise man is not associated with karma at all. The ignorant man is associated with the karma, but he is not influenced by the karma or the karma phala. Two stages. So, yaha he who brahmani ishvare adhaya nikshipya tadartham karma karomi iti bhrutti iva swamyartham sarvani karmani mokshe api phale sangam tyaktva karoti yaha sarva karmani. Yaha he who is doing all the activities of his life for what? As if he is offering all of them to the Lord. Yad yad karma karomi tattadakhilam shambho tavaradhana. Bhrutya iva swamyartham. Like the servant is doing for the sake of the boss. Karmani and sangam tyaktva. Sangam tyaktva for what? Mokshe api phale. Even he is not worried about the liberation. So mokshe phale api sangam tyaktva yaha sarva karmani karoti saha api na lipyate papena. He is also not influenced by the sins born out of the karma. What are the sins born out of karma? Both sin and merit. Because both of them are impressions. Because his mind is now no more gathering impressions of karma phala or the doership. And therefore, na sa papena lipyate. However, he is still associated with the doership. I am doing it, offering it to the Lord. I don't want anything. Even if I don't get moksha, how does it matter? Like Tukaram Maharaj toward the end of his Abhangas, he says that, "Oh Lord, we are not tired of taking births. Sukhe khalave ammasi." Again and again give us birth. We'll enjoy, because now we are your devotee. See? Devotees get very much enchanted by this kind of, thing. Because there is something, why this Ramayana has become so popular, Because it talks about our regular crying. This happened, and then, Kaikeyi said like this thing, and then, this like that, and then Rama went, and Sita went, and they're crying, and poor fellow, he feel, chalo, apni kahani chal rahi. Isn't it? And when they come over here, it's very difficult, Give up all the doership and naiva kanchit kuromiti, shrunvan pashan, even we can't chant it. Isn't it? That is why, you will see Rama Katha. People will come 3-4 lakhs with bullock carts, with their, cows, milk, and the whole family, and stay there for 3-4 days, 5 days, 8 days. These people who go for Pandharpur Yatra, they are not 1 or 2. They are 4, 5, 6, 100,000 people walking together. So they are walking in wide, at least must be about 30-40 lines like that, and miles together, a huge ocean of humanity. Now, do you think there are so many toilets available? No. So when they leave one halt, go to the next halt, at the left place, that place they have left, there it is all full of dirty smell. So it continues for 1 week. Pandharpur ki wari ho gayi. What all dirty smell. See? But in that you get lots and lots of crowd. But when it comes to understanding, contemplation, it is not our aim. We want, Vittala, and cry and shout and story. That becomes very enchanting. So here, Bhagavan is telling, such people who have that kind, I am doing everything but not for my sake, for the sake of the Lord I am doing, Bhagavan has told me here, therefore I am doing, I don't like running away from the responsibilities. So I do also, sometimes I cry. Is it not human to feel miserable once in a while? No, it is not human, it is superhuman. Feel all the time miserable. So what is the difference between the 8th, 9th verse and the 10th verse is this. In the 8th, 9th verse, he is very clear. Nothing is happening, nothing is being done. In this 10th verse, here he is yaha karoti, karmani karoti. He is doing the karma. The doership is there. Now, such people, karma yogis who are doing the karma, now what for they are doing the karma? They have not yet attained perfection. So, केवलम सत्व शुद्धि मात्र फलम एव तस्य कर्मणः स्यात्. Such people who are engaged in the activities, offering them to the Lord and doing all the things sincerely, they are not touched like Padma Patram iva ambasa. Padma Patram iva ambasa udakena. Like the lotus leaf is born in the water, grows in the water, lives in the water, but it is not touched by the water. In the same manner, these karma yogis are very much busy actively in this world, but they are not touched by the world. Then why they are doing it so much? Because kayena manasa buddhya kevalairindrayairapi yogina karma kurvanti संगम त्यक्त्वात्म शुद्धये कायेन देहेन मनसा बुद्ध्या च केवलैः ममत्ववर्जितैः ईश्वराय एव कर्म करोमि न मम फलाय इति ममत्व बुद्धि शून्यैः इंद्रियैः अपि केवल शब्द कायादिभिः अपि प्रत्येकं संबध्यते सर्वव्यापारेषु ममतावर्जनाय योगिनः कर्मिणः कर्म कुर्वन्ति संगम त्यक्त्वा फल विषयम् आत्मशुद्धे सत्वशुद्धे इत्यर्थः तस्मात् तत्र एव तव अधिकारः इति कुरु कर्मत्वम्. Now, kayena by the body, manasa buddhya by the mind and the intellect, kevalaihi. So they are only functioning at the level of the body, mind and intellect, and mamatva varjitaihi. See, this is how Bhagavan Shankara adds beauty to the whole expression. Mamatva varjitaihi. Who? Those who do not have any mamata with the performance of the body, the mind or the intellect. You know, those who are the devotees of Sant Gyaneshwar Maharaj and his commentary Jnaneshwari. No doubt one of the most wonderful commentary on Bhagavad Gita. They will never say one original Sanskrit verse, and they will say our Jnaneshwari is far superior than even Bhagavad Gita. This is called as Atishayokti Alankar. See? And then the same people will say, after all, he is the avatar of Bhagavan Krishna. So, Bhagavan Krishna, what he said originally, and this is the improved edition. This is how the devotees oversay many a time things. So, mamatva varjitaihi, without any attachment or minus with the activities of the body, mind, intellect, etc. Then Ishwaraya eva karma karomi. Then for what the body, mind, intellect are functioning? For the sake of the Lord. Na mama phalaya. Not for my own sake. Iti mamatva buddhi shunyaihi indriyaihi. And in this manner, without any expectation, attachment either to the instrument or to the doing or to the results. Api kevala shabda kayadibihi api pratyekam sambadhyate. Now this word kevala goes with everything. Kevalena kayena, kevalena manasa, kevalaya buddhya. So this kevala shabda kayadibihi api pratyekam sambadhyate sarva vyapareshu mamata varjanaya. So all the activities of the body, mind, intellect are no more considered as my activities. Such yoginaha karminaha, such doers of karma, karma yogi, karma kurvanti, they keep on working in this world. Sangam tyaktva phala vishayam. No more expectation, hope or anything about the result of their karma. Then why they are doing? Atma shuddhaye, sattva shuddhaye ityartaha. This is what I have been emphasizing you again and again. We function in the outer world, but our observations are on the inner purity. When our functioning is evaluated on the basis of what has happened outside, we are not spiritual seekers. When our functioning is evaluated by us, not by the world, by us, on what is happening inside, Atma Shuddhaye, then we are the seekers of the truth. Therefore, our spiritual life is not to please anybody in this world. We are living for our purification. So, yoginaha karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. After having told this, Bhagavan Shankara gives one nice one. Tasmat tatra eva tava adhikaraha iti kuru karma eva. Arjun Maharaj, you have no authority for karma sannyas. Therefore, you do this yuddha. Don't run away. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. हरि ओम.